Isabella Starling's hand shook badly as she carried the tray of champagne glasses through the super-crowded dining room of Lucille Blue. This was Manhattan's restaurant. The big crystal chandeliers made the marble floors look all golden and nice. The room was filled with talk of rich people. Isabella Starling was 23 years old. She had been working 2 shifts every day for 8 months now. She was doing this so she could pay for her mother's cancer treatment. Every single penny she earned was going towards that. Isabella Starling really wanted to help her mother get better. The medical bills were really overwhelming. They just kept piling up and up. No matter how hard she worked, the medical bills just got bigger and bigger every week. The medical bills were like a weight on her, a big problem that she could not get rid of. She walked up to table 7, moving with a kind of ease that comes from doing something times. Her black uniform was perfectly ironed. The man sitting by himself stood out in a way that was hard to ignore. Dominic Ashford was a name that people in the city talked about with a lot of respect. He was a man who had made a lot of money on his own and had built a chain of hotels from scratch. At the age of 42, his dark hair was starting to turn gray at the sides, and his gray eyes seemed to hold things that he was not saying. Isabella found these things about Dominic Ashford to be both scary and attractive. She was drawn to Dominic Ashford in a way that she could not explain. The way Dominic Ashford looked at her made her feel like he could see through her. The man wore a charcoal suit that likely cost more than the woman's rent for her place. The charcoal suit was really expensive. His presence filled the space around him like gravity. It was a strong feeling. The man in the charcoal suit seemed to take up a lot of space. Isabella put down her wine glass with hands, but when she turned to go, her shoe got caught on the edge of the Persian rug. Everything seemed to happen slowly as she tripped, and the tray started to tip. The red wine splashed over Dominic's clean white shirt. It was like blood spreading on the fabric. Isabella's heart stopped beating. She was so worried about what Dominic would think. Isabella just wanted to run, but she could not move. She just stood there looking at the wine all over Dominic's shirt. The woman said she was very sorry to the man. She told him that she would pay to have his clothes cleaned. She said she would take care of everything. Her fingers were trembling as she picked up some napkins. The dry cleaning bill was going to be a problem for her. She was thinking about how much it would cost. She knew she did not have the money. She was also worried about being sued or losing her job at the place where she worked. The woman was really upset about what had happened. She did not know what to do. She kept thinking about the cleaning and how she would pay for it. Dominic got up slowly. He is a tall guy, about 6 feet. He was standing over her. She did not see the anger she thought she would see. Instead, Dominic looked really calm. He even looked a little curious. "What is your name?" Dominic asked her. Isabella Starling said to him, "I am willing to work hours to fix this problem. I want to make sure Isabella Starling does what is right. Please let Isabella Starling work hours." He looked at her closely, which made her feel warm all over. "You are working shifts already? I have seen you here for months. You are always on the go, never taking a break. Why do you do that? Why do you work much at this job?" The question really caught her off guard. She was wondering how he knew about her schedule. "My mother is sick," she said. The treatments for her mother are very expensive. Something changed in his eyes. A spark of knowing something, or maybe remembering something. "Join me. Sit down." Isabella looked at her manager with eyes. Her manager was standing across the room, watching her with a frown that said she was not doing something. "I am not able to do that. I am working," Isabella said to her manager. Dominic said this in a voice. "I am the owner of this restaurant," he said. "Please have a seat." She sat down in the chair across from him. Her heart started beating really fast. When she looked at him close, she noticed the little wrinkles around his eyes, the shape of his jaw, and the smell of his cologne, mixed with the smell of fancy wine. The man was good-looking. It was kind of scary. He made her feel like she was not very pretty with her face and old uniform. She thought about her appearance and compared it to his, and it made her feel bad. The man's good looks made her feel self-conscious about her plain features and the uniform she was wearing. "I have something to ask you, Isabella," he spoke in a gentle voice. "I am looking for a woman to be my wife for 1 year. This will be a marriage with all the proper documents. If you do this for me, I will take care of all the money your mother needs for her care, for everything she has had to pay for so far, and anything she might need in the future. I will also make sure you have a place to live, and everything you need to be comfortable. I will give you a home, Isabella, and take care of your mother's medical expenses so you do not have to worry about money. Isabella's breath caught. What are you even talking about with this proposition? I am not that kind of person. I do not do things like that. Dominic said. I know what kind of person you are. You are a person, and you work very hard. You are also desperate enough to think about things you would not normally do. This is not about being or having a relationship. I have business things that need to look stable. Having a wife makes me look that way. A young wife gives me the image of stability that I need for my business interests. Dominic thinks that a young wife is what he needs to make his business look good. Why me? You need me, just like I need you. I saw what you did week. You gave a customer their wallet back. It had $5,000 in it. You are a person, and that is really hard to find. I think that is great that you are honest. You did not have to give that wallet, but you did. That says a lot about the kind of person you're. The offer was there between them like a sword hanging over their heads. Isabella could not. Think of her mother. Her mother was getting weaker every day. The hospital bills were really scary. They were going to take everything they had. Isabella thought about how tired she was. She was so tired of working all the time and worrying about everything. This man was giving her a chance to get out of this situation. What was she going to have to give up in return? The offer from this man was a way out for Isabella. She was not sure if it was worth it. She said this quietly. 1 year, she whispered, then what will happen to us? Then we get a divorce quietly. You walk away with enough money to start whatever life you want to live. The care for your mother will keep going on. Isabella closed her eyes. She had always thought that she would get married because she loved someone, not because it was a business deal. The thing is, love does not pay the bills that the doctor sends. Her mother did not have time to listen to Isabella's ideas about love. Isabella thought about her wedding. She asked herself, when would this wedding happen? In 3 days from now, my lawyers will take care of all the details. After we get married, you will move into my penthouse away. My lawyers will handle everything, so you do not have to worry about a thing. You will really like my penthouse. It is a nice place to live. My penthouse is where you will be living after the ceremony. It is all set for you to move in. She opened her eyes, saw him looking right at her. There was something in his eyes that he was not showing. Maybe he was. Maybe he was lonely. He was not as okay as he was acting like he was. Okay, she said loud. I will do it, she told the businessman. The businessman was hiding something behind his face. Dominic nodded one time, then he pulled out a business card from his pocket. He said, my driver is going to come and get you on Friday at noon. You should bring the things that you want to keep with you. My driver and I will take care of everything that you need, so you do not have to worry about that. As Isabella watched him get ready to leave, she saw that the wine stain on his shirt did not seem to bother him. He stopped at the table, turned to look at Isabella. There is one thing I want to say, he said. This arrangement we have, it needs to stay a secret between Isabella and him. To everyone, Isabella and he are a real couple. Can Isabella pretend to be his girlfriend and play along with this role? I am an actress than you think, Mr. Ashford. The corner of his mouth went up a little. It was like he was smiling. He said, I am counting on the plan. And the plan was what he was talking about, the plan that we had made, and he was counting on the plan to work out. Isabella, standing in a courthouse 3 days later. She had on a silk dress that came to her apartment that morning. The dress fit her well, it was tight on her body, and it made her feel pretty and a little scared at the same time. Dominic was waiting for her at the front of the room. He looked very nice in his navy suit. There was nobody there, just a judge and 2 people who worked at the courthouse who were there to witness what was happening. The private courthouse was small. Isabella and Dominic were the people who were really part of this, apart from the judge and the 2 witnesses.
Ow.
From the courthouse staff? The wedding ceremony was short and to the point. When the judge said that Dominic and his wife were now married, Dominic kissed his wife. His kiss was fast and gentle. His lips just touched hers. Even that small touch made her feel something strong, a sign that things might get complicated with Dominic and his wife especially. With Dominic, they went to his penthouse in silence. The city lights were a blur outside the limousine windows. Isabella played with the gold wedding band on her finger. It felt weird and heavy. Dominic sat across from her. His face did not show any feelings. He was looking at papers on his tablet. The city lights kept blurring past the windows. Isabella kept twisting the gold wedding band on her finger. Dominic was still looking at his tablet. The penthouse took up the top floor of a building that looked out over Central Park. The windows went all the way from the floor to the ceiling, and the view of the city was so amazing that it took Isabella's breath away. The penthouse was decorated in a masculine and simple style with lots of straight lines and dark-colored wood, and it had artwork on the walls that probably cost more than what most people pay for their entire homes. The penthouse had a view of Central Park and the city. From these big windows, Dominic told me that my bedroom is down that hall to the left. He said, "I will have privacy in my bedroom." Dominic said that he will not enter my bedroom without my permission. Isabella nodded. Inside, she was really nervous. She thought about all the romance books she had read, all the love movies she had seen. None of those books or movies helped her get ready for what it's like to be married to someone. She did not know even if that person is very handsome. Marriage, to a stranger, is a lot to take in. Isabella was feeling it. She kept thinking about marriage and what it means to be married to a stranger. "Dominic," she said softly, and he turned to face her. The lighting in the penthouse was really soft. It made Dominic look a lot younger, kind of vulnerable too. "Can I ask you something about this, Dominic?" "Yes." She took a breath and tried to be brave. The question had been on her mind since he told her about his idea. Will it hurt? She was really scared to hear the answer to this question, about the thing he wanted her to do. She thought about the thing he offered her. It made her nervous. His brow furrowed. Will what hurt? Heat flooded her cheeks. She kept looking at him. She said, "Being with you, I have never been with anyone before. If we are supposed to be a couple, people will expect us to do certain things eventually. I just need to know if it will hurt. If you will be gentle with me when we are together, when we do this, when we are being a couple being with you." The silence that followed seemed to go on. Dominic's eyes got really dark. His jaw got tight as he thought about what Isabella said. When he finally said something, his voice sounded funny. "Isabella, are you really telling me that you are a virgin?" "Yes," she whispered. "Is having a problem with that something that bothers you?" He walked across the room in 3 steps and stopped really close to her. She could feel how hot his body was. She could see his heart beating in his neck. "We had a deal." "This was just supposed to be about business," he said to her, talking about the business arrangement they had. "The business arrangement was what they agreed on. I know that. You told me that we have to look like a real couple. I am just trying to figure out what that really means. I want to know what you think a real couple is. Like, what does it mean to you when you say we have to appear as a couple?" Dominic's hand went up like he was going to touch her face. Then it just fell back down to his side. He said, "This means we will go to events together. We will pretend everything is fine when people are watching. When we are alone, nothing has to happen with Dominic and her that she does not want to happen with Dominic." "If I want it?" The question came out before she could stop herself from saying it. His eyes were burning with something that was really bad. It made him want something intensely. "Then you would be making a mistake," he said. "I am not a person, Isabella. I have done some bad things that would really scare you. I do not do caring things, and I do not do love stories. This deal works because it is about giving and taking, that is all, Isabella. It is business, Isabella, and that is why it works." But even as he said these words, his hand reached out to touch Isabella's cheek, his thumb gently touching her lip in a very gentle way. Isabella's breath caught at this touch, her body reacting in ways that Isabella did not fully understand. Isabella had never felt this kind of pull toward Isabella's friends or anyone else, this attraction. To him, that made it hard for Isabella to think clearly about what was happening with Isabella and this man. She looked at him, said, "Why did you really choose me?" She was leaning into his touch even though she knew she should not be doing that. She was going against her judgment, but she could not help the way she felt when the man touched her. The woman was letting her feelings take over. She was touching him too because she liked the way it felt when they touched. She liked the man. She wanted to know why he chose her, why he really chose the woman. Dominic's face. For a moment, I saw a hurt on his face. He said, "When I look at you, I see someone who's innocent. You are like something good that has not been ruined by the bad things in my life. I thought I could keep you away from all that, keep you safe. But now that I am standing here with you, and my hands are on you, I think I might have made a big mistake with you, Dominic." Thought about this and felt bad. Dominic was worried that he had messed up with you. "I do not understand what you are trying to say. Can you please explain what you mean by that? What is it that you want to know? You are saying, what do you mean? I do not know what you are referring to. Can you please tell me more about what you're asking?" He did not say a word. He leaned down, kissed Isabella the way he really wanted to. This time it was not a little touch of their lips, like they did at the ceremony. This was a kiss. It was like he was starving for her and trying to hold back at the time. They were making promises to each other that they should not make. Isabella felt herself getting lost in the kiss. She held onto his jacket tightly. He kissed her deeper. His tongue touched hers. It was like they were dancing with their tongues. Isabella's knees felt weak. The kiss was making her feel this way. He was kissing her. Isabella was kissing him back. Isabella and he were lost in the moment. When Dominic finally stopped kissing her, they were both breathing hard. Dominic put his forehead against Isabella's forehead, his hands holding her waist tightly like he was scared she would vanish. He said to Isabella, "Go to your room, Isabella. Lock the door. Because if Isabella stays here much longer, Dominic is going to forget every single rule he made for this thing." Between Dominic and Isabella, she said this in a quiet voice, "Maybe I want you to forget." It hurt him. "You have no idea what you are getting yourself into. I am 20 years older than you. I have a lot of bad things in my past. The things I have been through are so bad that they could hurt us both. You should be with someone who's better for you than I could ever be. The truth is, you deserve better than what I can give you. I just do not think I can make you happy because of all the darkness in my life. You deserve someone who can make you happy. I do not think that someone is me. I should be the one to figure out what I deserve. It is my life. I need to make my own decisions about what I deserve. Let me decide what I deserve, because it is all about my life and what I think I deserve." Dominic pulled back. His face became really serious. He looked very cold and distant. "This conversation is over," he said. "Good night, Mrs. Ashford." The new name she was given hurt her a lot. It hurt more than what he did to her. Isabella said nothing, nodded her head. She was trying not to cry because she was not really sure why she was so sad. Then she walked to the bedroom that he told her to go to. When she got to the door, she looked back at him. Dominic was standing by the window. The city lights were shining behind him. He looked very lonely just standing there all by himself. When it hit her, Isabella felt really scared. She knew that this was not about the business deal they had talked about. Something changed from the time he asked her to be with him. Now that they were together, Isabella felt a connection with him that she did not expect. This connection was weak. It made her feel uneasy. It was like something of her was telling her that this was not a good idea. The connection between Isabella and him was real. It was scary. She closed the door, leaned against it. Her fingers were touching her lips. They still felt funny from the kiss that Dominic gave her. Outside the room, she could hear Dominic getting himself a drink. The sound of the glass hitting the bottle was loud in the penthouse. The sound of crystal on crystal was really clear. She thought about Dominic and what he was doing. Dominic was probably standing by the window drinking his drink and thinking about her. That night was really bad for both of them. They were in rooms with just a wall between them. They had made a deal. It was already starting to fall apart. Isabella was lying there in the dark. She asked a question. The question that Isabella asked would change everything for Isabella and the other person. When I fall in love with you, will it hurt me? Falling in love with you is a deal for me. I am thinking about the possibility of falling in love with you. I want to know if it is going to hurt. The thought of falling in love with you is scary because I do not know what to expect. Will falling in love with you be painful for me? But there was no one to answer except the city night, keeping its secrets as it always had. The sun came up, shone through the big windows in the penthouse. It made everything look nice and warm. Isabella woke up, felt the soft silk sheets on her skin. She smelled coffee somewhere in the apartment. She did not know where she was at first. Then she remembered. She was married to a rich man. Isabella did not know this man well. She could not stop thinking about him. The morning sun was still shining through the windows. Isabella was married to a billionaire. She was trying to get used to this life. The penthouse was very fancy. Isabella felt a little out of place. She was thinking about her husband. She wanted to know more about him. She walked into the kitchen, found Dominic already up and dressed in a nice black suit. He was reading the news on his tablet. When she came in, he looked up at her. His gray eyes looked her up and down. She was still in the t-shirt she had brought from home, and her hair was messy from sleep. For a moment, Dominic looked at her in a way that made her feel funny. Then he stopped looking at her like that. Dominic was reading the news on his tablet again, but she could tell he was still aware of her. She was aware of Dominic too, standing there in his suit, looking very nice. He said that there is coffee. He spoke in a calm voice. He has arranged for someone to come and bring me some clothes. This afternoon, we are going to a charity gala tonight. This is our time going out in public as a married couple. The charity gala is something we have to attend tonight as a couple. Isabella got herself a cup of coffee. She couldn't. Notice how ordinary this whole scene looked. It seemed normal. What do I need to know about playing the role of your wife? Dominic put his tablet down, looked at her. He wanted her to know that he was listening. You need to stay close to Dominic. Smile when it is the time to do so. Do not talk to anyone about the arrangement between you and Dominic. There are going to be people who will want to know all about you and Dominic, about how you and Dominic met and why you and Dominic got married fast. What's our story? We met at the restaurant. I thought you were really something away. It was one of those things where, off. The lie came out of his mouth easily. Isabella noticed the little twitch in his jaw. Can you really make people believe that? She moved closer to him, set down her coffee cup. She was standing in front of him in the morning light. She was barefoot. She felt vulnerable. At that moment, the coffee shop woman made a decision about her house. I will not have to sell my house, the woman said to him. Isabella, he said to warn her. She put her finger on his lips. You asked me to play a role, so I will play the role my way. I want to do the role the way I think is best. The role is what you asked me to do. I will do the role my way. Before he could say anything, she leaned up, kissed him. It was an in-sweet kiss. She could taste the coffee on his lips and something that was him. For a moment, Dominic did not move. Then he lost control. His arms went around her waist. He pulled her close to his body. He took over the kiss. It was like he was saying she was his. The way he kissed her made her feel inside. She had never felt this way before. Dominic's kiss was making her feel things she did not know she could feel. The kiss was deep. It made her feel like she was a part of him. Dominic was kissing her like he owned her. It was making her feel strange and excited. When they broke apart, both of them were breathing hard. Dominic's eyes looked dark with a lot of desire and something that seemed like fear. He said, "This is dangerous." Dominic's eyes were still dark with desire and fear. You could tell he was really serious when he said that being with him was dangerous. Isabella whispered, "I know. But I stopped caring about being safe the moment I married you," she said to her husband. "I mean the moment I married you." The charity gala that evening was just what Isabella thought it would be like. There were crystal lights hanging from the ceiling and champagne everywhere. The women were wearing a lot of diamonds. The men were wearing fancy suits. They were talking about money like it was nothing, just like other people talk about the weather. Dominic stayed close to Isabella, his hand on her back. He introduced her to a lot of people. Isabella had a time remembering all of their names. The charity gala was really something. With Dominic and Isabella walking and meeting new people all the time, she had on a midnight dress that fit her body really well and went all the way to the floor in nice waves. Dominic picked it out himself. The way he looked at her when he first saw her in it was really something. His eyes got darker. It made her feel like it was all worth it, even when she felt like she did not belong. His fingers drew pictures on her bare back as they walked around the room with all those people. Every time he touched her, she felt a jolt of excitement. The midnight blue dress and Dominic's touch made her feel really alive. "Mr. Ashford," a smooth voice cut in. Isabella turned around to see a man who looked 50 years old, dressed really nicely with eyes that were cold and seemed to be sizing her up like something you buy. "I heard people are saying congratulations." To Isabella and Mr. Ashford, getting married fast, that is really romantic. Isabella and Mr. Ashford must be really happy. "Vincent Moretti," Dominic said in a cold voice. "I did not think Vincent Moretti was on the guest list. I go wherever I find something to do." Vincent smiled. It did not look real as he looked at Isabella. "Who is this nice person? Is she the woman you just married, I guess?" "Isabella Ashford," she said, and then she put out her hand to shake hands. She was trying to be confident, even though she did not really feel that way. "It is a pleasure to meet you, Isabella," Ashford said with a smile. Vincent took her hand. He did not let go right away. His thumb rubbed against her palm. It made her feel weird. He said, "I'm really happy to meet you. Tell me, Mrs. Ashford, what is it like to be part of the Ashford?" "Family business, Dominic," said Vincent, and the way he said it was like a warning. This made people around them stop talking for a moment. "I am just talking to your wife. She needs to know what is going on. The hotel business, the things that happen with countries, the bad things that happen to the people Dominic cares about. Your wife should know all of this. The hotel empire is a deal. Dominic's loved ones have a lot of things happen to them." Isabella felt Dominic get really tense beside her, his hand squeezing her waist. She thought back to the night they met, the one with the spilled wine over the place, and how Dominic had kept his distance from her. This guy was trying to cause trouble between Isabella and Dominic to make them doubt each other with his warnings. Isabella said that she knows what she has gotten into. She moved closer to Dominic, told him that she is marrying a man she really trusts. The marriage to Dominic is what matters to Isabella. Everything else is noise to her. The marriage to Dominic is all she cares about. Vincent's eyes got hard. He said, "You are so naive. Just enjoy this time my dear Vincent is talking to. The real world will come into these fairy tales of yours. Reality always does that." Isabella felt Dominic's whole body shaking with tension as he walked away. He said, "We are leaving," in a voice, and he guided her to the exit. Dominic was moving fast, like he could not wait to get out of there. Isabella could tell he was trying to stay calm. He was not doing a very good job. Dominic's tension was obvious. Isabella wondered what was wrong with him. He was still guiding her to the exit. She could feel how anxious Dominic was to leave. Dominic was in the limousine. He poured himself a scotch. His hands were shaking. Isabella had never seen Dominic like this before. She had never seen him get really upset. Isabella asked Dominic a question. "Who is that man really?" she said to Dominic. Dominic always seemed to be in control. Now Isabella was not so sure about Dominic. "This person is someone I do not like. This person is someone who wants to hurt me. This person reminds me of all the things I wanted to keep you safe from." He finished his drink in one gulp. "Vincent Moretti owns a lot of hotels that compete with mine. What he really does is try to get money from people by threatening them, and he hurts anyone who gets in his way. Years ago, I stopped him from making a lot of money in Singapore. Vincent Moretti has been waiting for the time to get back at me. What did he mean when he said that the people you care about will have something bad happen to them? He was talking about your loved ones. He said they will encounter tragedy. I want to know what he meant by that. Did he say that something bad is going to happen to your loved ones?" Dominic's face really hurt. He said, "My sister, Olivia, she is gone. She died in a car crash 5 years ago. Somebody messed with the brakes. I could never show it was Vincent who did it. I was sure. I've always been sure that Vincent was the one who did something to the car that killed my sister, Olivia." Isabella felt really bad for him. She finally understood why he put up walls and tried to keep people away. He did this to protect himself. Now, he thinks of me as someone who can hurt him too. The person said yes. It was really quiet. This has to stop. I am going to have my lawyers make papers to end our marriage tomorrow. I will still pay for your mother's doctor bills. You have to leave me and my life alone. Isabella got up, moved to the other side of the limousine. She sat down beside him. Then she took his face in her hands. No, she said. I already told you Isabella is not going anywhere, she told him. You do not understand what you are risking. I want you to help me understand what is going on. Please do not push me away. I want you to let me in. We are married, Dominic, he said, for better or worse. Do you remember that? His laugh was bitter. Those were just words, Isabella. Legal formalities for a business arrangement. She looked at him, said were they. She wanted to see what was in his eyes. When he kisses her, it does not feel like they are just doing business. The way he touches her, and the way he looks at her, it is like he thinks she is really special. So she asked him to tell her the truth. What does he really want from her? Does he really want to be with her? Is it just a business thing? She wanted to know what he really wants from their relationship. The silence between them was really uncomfortable. Felt like there were a lot of things they wanted to say but could not. Then Dominic did something that surprised her. He pulled her onto his lap, put his hands on her face. He was being very gentle with her. Dominic said, I want you in a voice that sounded like he was struggling to speak. He wanted to be with her all the time. He wanted her to be the thing he sees when he wakes up. He wanted to hear her laugh and make sure she is safe from things. Dominic was scared. He was scared that if he wants her, something bad might happen to her. He does not think he can handle losing someone he loves again. He loves her. That is why he is scared. Dominic wants her. He is also scared of what might happen to her if they are together. Love. Isabella's breath caught. She was really surprised to hear that word. Isabella thought about love and what it meant to her. Isabella felt a little shy when she thought about love. Dominic closed his eyes like he was hurting. I did not mean to do that. God knows I really tried not to. I saw you moving around my world and you did it so easily. You even stood up to Vincent when you were really scared. The way you look at Dominic is like Dominic is someone who's worth helping. How could Dominic not fall in love with you? Tears ran down Isabella's face as she kissed him. Let me stay and fight with the man I love. Let me stay and fight. With you, Isabella wants to be. With you and fight with you. If something bad happened to you because of me, it would really hurt me. I do not think I could handle it if you got hurt because of something I did. The thought of you getting hurt because of me would be very difficult for me to deal with. It would really destroy me if you were in trouble because of me, and not having Isabella by my side would totally break me, Isabella said back. So we have to look out for each other, Isabella and me. We do this together, Isabella and I, as a team. Dominic and Isabella's kiss got really intense, like they were trying to prove something. Dominic's hands got all tangled up in Isabella's hair as she pressed her body against his. She could feel how much he wanted her. When they finally stopped kissing, they were both shaking. Dominic looked into Isabella's eyes. Are you really sure about this? Because once Dominic and Isabella do this, they cannot go back to pretending that Dominic and Isabella are business partners. Isabella whispered her question. This was the thing. That had been on her mind since the night they got married. She asked, will it hurt? Will you be gentle? Isabella really wanted to know what would happen. She was thinking about this a lot. Isabella was worried about what the man she married would do. She wanted him to be gentle with her. Isabella asked. Again, will you be gentle? Because this was very important to Isabella. Dominic's face changed and he looked really gentle. It was so sweet that it hurt her heart. He said, I will love every part of you. I'll make this feel so good that you will not think about anyone, just us. Us. Yes, it might hurt a little bit at first. But I promise it will feel really good and it will be worth it. I will make sure the good feeling is bigger than the feeling. Dominic wants to make this special for you. He wants you to feel happy with him with Dominic. When they got to the penthouse, Isabella's whole body was full of excitement. Dominic picked her up, carried her inside, still kissing her, and he knew the place so well that he did not need to look. In his bedroom, he put her down softly. His hands went to the zipper on her dress, moving really slowly like he was being very careful with something special. Dominic was taking his time with the zipper on Isabella's gown. He whispered to her, "This is your chance to change your mind." And he said it really softly against her neck. "I've never been more certain of anything." The dress was over the floor around her feet. This left her standing in some really pretty lace. It was so nice that it made Dominic stop breathing for a second. "You looked really beautiful," he said softly. His hands were touching her body, just barely. This was making her feel all funny inside. "I do not deserve to be with you," Dominic said. The gown made her look like a dream. Dominic could not take his eyes off the gown and her. "It is a thing that I do not need to ask for permission. I can just do what I want. That is it. I am in charge of my life, so I should be able to make my own decisions without having to ask someone else if it is okay. The idea of needing permission from someone to do something is just not something that I am comfortable with. I like being able to do what I want when I want, and that is what I am going to do. I am going to make my choices and live my own life, and I do not need anyone else's permission to do that." Dominic and Isabella came together in a tangle of need and tenderness. Dominic took his time to learn every response of Isabella's body. He wanted to know every sound she made. When Dominic finally joined them, he moved with control. Isabella understood what Dominic had meant. There was a sting of pain. The pain was swallowed by the overwhelming sensation of completeness. Dominic made Isabella feel like she was being claimed and cherished and measured by Dominic. The city lights were shining on the ceiling, and Isabella was wrapped in his arms. She felt a change between them. It was not about being together for now or because it was easy. The city lights were making patterns on the ceiling, and Isabella felt something. Isabella felt the heartbeat of the person behind her. It was beating very fast. This was real. The city lights and the heartbeat and Isabella and the person behind her, it was all real. The heartbeat was like thunder, and Isabella could feel it against her back. Isabella and the person behind her, they were together. It felt real. She said, "I love you." She whispered these words into the darkness. The darkness was around her, and she whispered, "I love you," very softly. Dominic's arms got really tight around her. He said, "I love you too. This actually scares me more than any deal at work or someone trying to beat me." The next morning was tough. Isabella woke up. She found Dominic already up staring at her in a way that made her feel shy. He said, "We have to talk about Vincent." He was very serious. "What happened tonight changed everything," he said. "You are not just pretending to be my wife. You are my wife now, which means you are in even more danger. Vincent is still a problem for us, and now you are a bigger target for Vincent." Isabella said to him, "Then we need to make me less of a target." This really surprised him. "Teach me how to protect myself," she told him. "I am not some kind of doll, Dominic. Grew up in neighborhoods, so I know how to fight. I want to learn how to defend myself, Dominic. I do not want to be a person, Dominic. Teach me what I need to know so I can protect myself, Dominic. I am ready to learn, Dominic." Over the few weeks, Dominic brought in some really great teachers. Isabella learned how to protect herself, how to use a gun, and how to spot trouble. What was really important was that she got to know all about Dominic's business. She became more than his wife. She became his partner too. It turned out that Isabella was actually very good with numbers. She could find mistakes in the reports that other people had not seen. Dominic's business was a thing, but Isabella was learning it all. She was learning about Dominic's business empire. She was getting really good at it. Isabella and Dominic's love got stronger every day. Excitement they first felt was still there. It changed into something that meant a lot more to them. Isabella did not feel like she did not belong in Dominic's life anymore. She made her space in Dominic's world. Isabella earned the respect of Dominic's friends and the people he worked with because she was smart. Isabella was not afraid of anyone. That is what people liked about her. Isabella and Dominic's love was real. Isabella was happy to be a part of Dominic's world. It was a Tuesday morning. This was 2 months after Isabella got married. She found something out that would change her life. Isabella had been feeling sick for a week. She was very tired, even though she was sleeping okay. Isabella was looking at work reports when she figured it out. Her hand went to her stomach without her thinking about it. Her stomach was still flat. Isabella was looking at reports for work. Her hand just moved to her stomach. The pregnancy test confirmed what she already knew. She was going to have a baby. That baby was Dominic's child. The pregnancy test told her that she was pregnant with Dominic's child. Fear and joy were fighting inside of her. They had never really talked about having kids. They had hardly even admitted to themselves that what they had was a marriage. How would Dominic feel about this? Would he get all closed off again, thinking that she and the baby were people he needed to protect, than people he loved? She was worried that Dominic would react this way to the baby. The baby and she were the people Dominic loved. She wanted him to love the baby, not just protect the baby. She found him sitting in his office. The afternoon light coming through the windows made him look really great. He looked up at her. He was smiling. This was a smile that he only gave to her now. He said, "Hey, beautiful. Are you ready for dinner?" "Dominic, I have to tell you something." Her voice was shaking really badly, even though she was trying hard to stay calm. He jumped up, pulled her close to him. "What is wrong with her? Is the woman hurt?" He wanted to know what was wrong with the woman. "No, I'm pregnant." The silence that followed felt like it was going to last. Dominic's face changed a lot. It showed shock, fear, and then something that looked like he was really amazed. "You are sure?" "I took 3 tests. They all came back positive." The tests were all positive. "I am talking about the 3 tests that I took, and the results of the 3 tests were all positive." He sat back in his chair, pulled her onto his lap. He put one hand on her stomach. "We are going to have a baby," he said quietly. "Our baby is going to be born. Are you okay with this situation? I know we never planned for this situation to go this far. The situation is really getting out of hand. I am talking about this situation. I want to know if you are okay with how this situation is turning out." Dominic's laugh was really shaky as he put his face in Isabella's neck. "Is this okay with you?" "Isabella, I am really scared and really happy at the time. This baby is proof that something good can come from my life, that love can make something even in bad times." The moment was ruined when they heard the sound of breaking glass. Dominic quickly pushed Isabella to the floor, lay on top of her to protect her. At that moment, they could hear the sound of gunshots around the office. Men in black clothes were coming into the room using ropes. Dominic was trying to keep Isabella safe from the men in tactical gear who were now inside the office. "Vincent," Dominic said in a tone, pushing Isabella towards a secret room that was hidden behind a bookshelf. He told her to get there right now. "I am not going to leave you. I will stay with you. The thought of leaving you is not something I want to do. I want to be with you. That is what I am going to do. I am going to stay here with you." He told her to think about their baby. That is what made her listen. She quickly ran to the panic room. At the time, Dominic started fighting the bad people with a gun he took from his desk. The last thing she saw before the strong door closed was Dominic fighting well, even though there were more bad people than him. He was making sure she could get to a place, and he was doing a good job of protecting her. Dominic was very good at fighting. It seemed like he had done this before. Inside the panic room, Isabella watched. What was happening on the security monitors? She saw Dominic fighting like a person. His security team got there fast, which changed everything. They helped turn things around. When the fight was finally over, the police had 6 of Vincent's men, and Dominic was hurt. He was bleeding from a cut on his shoulder. He was okay, he was alive. Isabella was relieved to see that Dominic was alive. The door. He rushed to her, pulling her into his arms. He asked her if she was hurt. He also asked about the baby. "We are fine. You are bleeding." He kissed her hard. When he thought he might lose their baby, he figured something out. He had been so busy trying to keep her safe from the things in his life that he forgot what really matters. The thing is, they are better off together than they're alone. He is not going to try to protect her from what's really going on anymore. From on, they will deal with everything. As a team, as partners together, they will face everything that comes their way. They will do it together as partners. What about Vincent? Dominic's face became really tough. This is over tonight. I have all the proof I need to put him in jail for a long time. The police are already at his house. He made a mistake by attacking me in my own home, where I have cameras everywhere. Dominic said that the man is finished. The man's life is going to be very different, that Dominic has all the evidence he needs to take him down. Dominic's home is a safe place, and the man should not have tried to hurt him there. Tonight, it is all going to end for the man. That night, police sirens were screaming in the distance. Vincent Moretti was being taken away with his hands cuffed. Isabella and Dominic were standing together at the windows that had been fixed. His hand was on Isabella's stomach, which was starting to show a bump. The city was right in front of them, with lots of lights and dark spots, good things and bad things. Dominic asked this question in a voice. He wanted to know if this life was really what we wanted. He said it is not too late for us to leave, to take our child to a place that is normal. Dominic said we can still walk away from all this. Isabella turned in the arms of the man she loved. She saw how vulnerable he was. She saw the love in his eyes. This love had changed him a lot. He was not the businessman that he used to be. Now he was a man who could be very tender. "This is my life," she said. "You are my life." Isabella thought that having a life was not as good as having a life that was extraordinary with the man she loved.
Ow.
Even with all the risks. I think about all the risks. It is really scary. The thing is, you are someone who is worth fighting for. You are worth protecting. You are also worth loving. The risks are big. You are worth it because you are worth fighting for, and worth protecting, and worth loving. 6 months. Later, Isabella had a baby girl. They named her Olivia, after Dominic's sister. When Dominic held Olivia for the time, he cried, and Isabella saw the last of his defenses fall away. Dominic was not the man who had suggested they just get married without loving each other. Now he was a husband and a father. Dominic had figured out that being open and honest with his feelings was not a thing, it was actually a good thing. Isabella saw that Dominic had learned that it is okay to be vulnerable and that it does not mean you are weak, it means you are strong. Their story was not a fairy tale. Dominic's empire still had a lot of problems. There were still people who wanted to hurt them and things that could go wrong. Dominic and Isabella faced all these things together. They loved each other. This love helped them get through the tough times. Isabella did not have to wait on tables. She started working with Dominic. Soon her name was on the papers of Ashford hotels right next to Dominic's name. On their wedding anniversary, Dominic did something really sweet for Isabella. He surprised her with a renewal of their wedding vows. This time they were not alone. They were surrounded by family and friends. Dominic told everyone how much he loved Isabella. Isabella and Dominic danced at the reception. Their baby Olivia was sleeping peacefully nearby. Isabella thought about the girl she used to be. She remembered when she was desperate. Asked if loving Dominic would hurt her. "Does it hurt?" Dominic whispered softly in her ear, like he knew exactly what she was thinking. She looked up at the man. She smiled. This man had given her everything she needed. "No," she said. "It is perfect," he said. "I meant what I said that night in the limousine." He went on to say, "You are the woman I will ever love. You are the one who matters to me." The limousine night was real. "What?" "I said that night in the limousine was true. You are the only woman. For me," Isabella said, "that is good." She then said, "You are stuck with me forever." And as they swayed together under the lights, their daughter sleeping peacefully, their future looked really good. Isabella understood the truth. The love they had was real, even though it started when things were really tough. They had to make a choice, and they were not even sure what would happen. The love they had was just as real as the love that people have when things are easy. Maybe it was even stronger, because it had to deal with a lot of problems from the start. The love they had, it was tested from the beginning. That made it stronger. She had asked him if it would hurt to be with him, if being with him would break her. He did not break her, though. Instead, he made the woman whole again. The man and the woman had saved each other. They were two people, but they found completeness in each other, in a place they never expected to find it. The woman and the man found that they could be whole when they were together. There in that moment. Isabella knew she would make the same choice again and again. The girl, who was a virgin and really scared on her wedding night, was not there anymore. Now Isabella was a woman who knew how strong she was. She knew what she was worth. She knew she could love with all her heart without being afraid of anything. Isabella was a woman who could love in a fierce and fearless way. This was their story. Not perfect, not easy, but undeniably, inexplicably, eternally theirs.